Hello there, this is Annie and Casey for Annie and Casey Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to do twinned short rows, or shadow short rows as they're sometimes called. Now they are similar in some ways to German short rows, which used to be my favorite, but this is now my current favorite method of doing short rows, and I use it in several of my patterns. Loey has these, and the Papa Bear hoodie has these. My personalized Christmas stocking uses a short row heel. The others are short rowed shoulder shaping. This is a short row heel, and so with short row shoulders you just do the short rows once to bring that slope, but with the heel you need to bring the stitches in and then out again to get that heel cup, and that's what I'm going to show you because the method is a little different. Okay, so let's begin. I've already done two sets of short rows here. You can see the twin stitches here and here and here and here, and I'm going to work up, and this is the next stitch that is going to get the treatment. Okay, so I'm in the middle of a knit row and we're going to knit up to that stitch. I want to say hello to my camera person, Kiva.
Hi.
She's 7 years old and she's helping me out with the camera work. Is it going okay, Kiva?
Yeah.
Okay, let me know if it goes blurry. Alright, so this is the next stitch that we want to work. And how we make this twin stitch is we lift the front leg up from the stitch below, put it on the left needle and knit into that. You don't knit into the stitch itself. And then you transfer it back, and you can see now there are two stitches in this needle. But we're going to treat them as one stitch. So then you turn your work, and you don't need to do any slipping. It's already set up for you, and you're going to purl across to the next stitch that we want to work. And how this differs from other methods that I've seen that use this technique is, normally you want to work this stitch to make it a twin stitch. You would slip it and knit into the row below. I don't want to do that. I don't want to work this on the purl side. How we work it on the purl side is we get up to the stitch that we want to work and then we turn it. This stops it getting twisted, because the other methods I've seen twist the twin stitch, and I don't want that. So even though the yarn is still here on the left side, we want to pick up this back leg of the stitch below, and we're going to knit into essentially the back of it, the way that works. And you can see this isn't twisted, these are mounted correctly, and we're all set up to then keep knitting back again in the other direction. We don't need to turn or slip or anything like that. So I'm going to do one more set so that you can see this is the stitch we want to work into, and we're going to lift it up and knit into it and then put it back on the left needle. Turn, purl up to the stitch that we want to work. We don't work it, we work up to that stitch, which is this one. Turn. You're going to mount the back leg of that stitch up onto the needle and work into the back of it like that. So now we've got a set of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 on the knit side. This is where a shoulder short row would end. You would just knit across. You would knit these together, treating them as one stitch, and then when you turned and came back, you would purl these together, purling them as one. But for a short row heel, we have another set of steps to do. So this is what we do. We're going to knit across to the first twin stitch. Still going okay there, Kiva?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we can see here's our first twin stitch. You're going to pick up that front leg and do the same thing. Work into it again. Transfer it back. So now we have a triple stitch. These have 2. This has 2. This is 3. It's okay. We take and we purl back to the first twin stitch. Let me see. This is the first twin stitch. So you turn and you do the same thing again. You knit into the back leg again. And so you can see that this is also a triple stitch. So we knit back until we come to our first triple stitch, and we knit 3 together. We knit it all together as if it's one stitch, treat it as one stitch. Okay? And then we come to our next twin that we're going to do the triple treatment on again. We're going to put it up here, knit into that front leg and put it back. Now this is a triple stitch. We turn around. We purl back to the stitch that we want to work. And it's very easy to see because it is now a triple stitch, not a twin stitch. And this is where it's a little dicey. You want to purl 3 through the back loops, which can be awkward. And there we go. We turn and we do, oops, I didn't get all of those legs. Let me try that again. Purl into all 3, but it's easy to see when you haven't, there we go, when you haven't purled into the back of all 3, because you want all 3 loops to be taken off there. And then you turn and you can see that you have your next twin stitch that you want to turn into a triple stitch. And you do that. See, so you've got twins, twins, triplets there. Knit across. To the next triple stitch, which is here, and we knit 3 together. You treat it as one stitch. Knit 3 together, and then we're going to do the same with the next set. Turn it into a triple. Turn the double into a triple by knitting into that front leg and slipping it back. Okay, so we're nearly done. We repeat this. This is going to take a little longer because I have to finish the whole set. And I just want to say that Kiva's beautiful garter stitch below here, this was her piece of knitting.
Wait, I actually did that?
Yeah, that was yours. That was yours. Okay, the next triple set. Well, you know, you were working on it. We're going to purl into the back 3, purl 3 together through back loops, and then turn. Okay, we do the same. We lift the back leg, knit into it, knit across. Yes, that was the knitting you were doing at the fair, and it looks very neat and even for a 7-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice knitting, but I just decided to do the demonstration on this piece because it was a pretty color. Okay.
Pretty.
So here we are at this triple stitch that we knit as if it's one. And we're going to create our triple out of the double here. Kiva, don't move the camera.
Sorry.
Is it still in focus?
Yes, it's fine.
Good girl.
Or just like, you know, like your hands kind of like went out of the way, so I had to kind of shove it over a little so I can...
Alright, I get ya. Okay, so we're working back to the purl side. And you can see something funny's happening over here, but we're not going to look at it just yet. We're not going to look at it till it's done. And here we are at our next triple stitch. So we want to purl those 3 together through the back loops, making sure we catch all 3, which we have. Purl them together. And this is our last twin stitch on this side that we're going to work into 3. Knit across. Now whenever we pick up the last triple stitch, as it will be on the knit side, then we finish that knit row because we began this on a knit row, so we're going to finish it on a knit row. And we knit those 3 and we finish that knit row. And then this will be our last row. Still in focus, Kiva?
Yeah.
We will purl across. And the last thing that we will do is the last set of triple stitches we will pick up. We'll purl them through the back as one stitch. And then we'll be done with our little sock heel. And let's see how it looks. Okay, so we're here.
Just so you know, it's like, this video is almost about 10 minutes. So.
That's okay. That's okay. We're going to purl 3 together through the back loops. And we're going to finish purl to the end. Although I'm doing a selvage stitch there with the last stitch knit. So here we go. Look at our little sock. It looks like a beak. But if that was a sock, it would be a heel. Let me just knit across and maybe we'll be able to see a little more clearly when we get a little bit more knitting done. So even though this is very thick yarn and size 11 needles, I do believe, it's neater on a thinner yarn and less bulky.
By the way, like you're doing it so fast, it looks like you just got the camera and like speeded it up the time. That's how fast you are.
I'm not really that fast, not compared to a lot of people. But I do my best. So here's how your heel will look at each side. Thank you for the kiss. Thank you. So there and there. So they match on either side. And that's your little sock heel. Okay? Thank you.
Well done.